Welcome back, blade lovers. This old sword with you. And we got another new one from Kansept Knives today. And a new maker to me, but recently interviewed by Bob DeMarco, the Knife Junkie, on the Knife Junkie podcast. His name is Jonathan Renaudin, or Renaudin, to give my best French pronunciation, and he goes by the name Kmaxrom. Kmaxrom. So this is a design by Kmaxrom, and he likes to do tactical type designs that are useful. I suggest watching that interview. It was very informative and tells you a lot about the designer. In this case, it was a design for Kansept Knives. And this is a really neat, I would say, right-sized knife. It is a frame lock, has 35 VN. Interestingly enough, instead of a natural colored titanium clip, they blackened the clip on this one. This is the Tanto version, kind of a drop point Tanto. There is a regular drop point version as well, and there are versions in Damascus and versions that are all blacked out. So you get a lot of choice. It fires on a flipper tab, fires with thumb studs. It's got a good detent. Not crazy, but I was probably pressing on the lock bar, as you can often do when you're using the thumb studs. Double thumb studs, pocket clip, right side only, tip up carry. Got a T8 on the pivot, pretty simple pivot surrounds with a silver surround. Got a slot for a lanyard hole. And the ergos are quite nice. So if you hold it this way, hand just kind of melts right into it. If you use the fairly aggressive jimping here, it's a nice stop for your thumb. If you choose to use that swale and lay your whole thumb down, it is also exceedingly comfortable. Sharpening choil only, and it's a decent size. It's not small, it's not large. If you don't like overly large knives, I think this is a good fit. If you don't like tiny little knives, this is certainly way bigger than that. And why don't we take a few measurements right about now? Give you an exact idea. So we've got, I'm going to call it 8.3 overall, and a blade of 3.6. Cutting edge, just about 3.5. And oh yeah, so the name, did I mention the name? Pretatout, or Pretatout. You can see it spelled out on the thumbnail and elsewhere. It means ready for anything, okay? Or willing to do anything. So obviously, Kmaxrom designed this as a knife for all tasks, from tactical to EDC. It's got a nice flat grind, almost a full-length fuller, which makes it very interesting, and that kind of a harpoon-like swedge at the top because of that swale. You've got a thumb position there, as I said, and a longer thumb position there should you choose to use it. Let's not forget to get a handle on it. 0.49, under a ½ inch. And blade stock, a little on the thicker side, 3.5 millimeters. And it is not a heavy knife. In fact, we'll see. It could be quite light. Seems to be a little bit of weight relieving milling on the inner handle. Getting a light out. Oh yeah. You can see the longitudinal millwork there, and a little bit on the lock bar side, and quite a bit back near the pommel. So nicely weight relieved. Given that, let's see what we get for a weight. We've got 4.16. 4.16, just a bit over 4 ounces. And that's nice. You know, it's not quite up to the spec of an ounce per inch, but few knives are. And it feels quite light and lively in the hand. I don't think anybody would consider this to be a heavy knife, but you never know. Give you a cruise around again. There we have Kansept's logo, the steel. We might have either stock number or serial number there. I can't quite read it. And there, Kmaxrom design. Black double thumb studs. Flipper tab that stands up pretty well. Got a little bit of scallop on the front. Light switch, absolutely no problem. Can't really push button it. I wouldn't recommend push buttoning it. And fires out quite nicely with the thumb stud. You can probably middle finger flick it if you absolutely have to. Given the thumb stud and flipper tab, I see no real need. I like decent sized holes when I'm going to start middle finger flicking a knife, a la Spyderco. Wide open construction with 2 barrel spacers. And let's see what it's locking up on. No internal stop pins. Oh, it's blackened, so I can't see it. There's a stop pin right up at the top. And it's a pretty decent sized one. I don't think it's going anywhere for a while. Depends upon how hard you're flicking it open, for how long, for how many years. Nice and smooth, beautiful action on bearings. All Kansepts are really nice in that regard. Quick comparison with a couple more recent Kansept knives I reviewed. This is the Bulldozer. So if you have or are familiar with this knife, it's very close to the same size, almost exactly the same size as the Pretatout. I'm going to anglicize that, it's just easier to say. And we have the monster here from Morgan Cohen's. This is the Shikari. Well, you're not going to be larger than that knife for sure. A good almost 2 inches longer overall. Of course, you got over a 4-inch blade, and it's just a massively nice knife. Let's do a quick compare because we'll be pretty close in size. Let's do a quick compare with the Griptilian. And as I thought, pretty close, almost exactly the length of the Griptilian. And it's going to be smaller, I'm guessing, than the Rat 1. And it is slightly smaller than the Rat 1. Maybe half to 3/4 of an inch. So, longitudinal grooves, they give you a good grip. Multiple stylings and 2 different blade shapes. Ready for anything, as the name implies. Pretatout by Kmaxrom or Kmaxrom. Now I forgot. Kmaxrom. Oh, lots of names in this industry, huh? But again, EDC, tactical, good all-around, strong knife with a great lockup. And let's just check the... Yeah, we got a lot more handle than blade. So, not knocking it, just wouldn't give it high marks on blade to handle ratio, but that's okay. It's not a short blade, and it's a decent sized handle. Centers up quite well, right out of the box, and it's smooth. Fires well, right out of the box. Once again, there you go. Pretatout by Kmaxrom and Kansept. Hope you enjoy this review. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. Catch you soon.